Hey everyone, my name is Wedge. As many of you know, Magic Origins is a set partially designed around the game's flagship Planeswalkers. In this video, we're going to take a look back at how Liliana became, well, Liliana. If you like these kinds of videos, hit the like button. It lets us know what you want. Now sit back and enjoy. We enter our story with a young girl, Liliana, running away from soldiers in the middle of a forest somewhere on Dominaria. Apparently said forest had become a last defense against a group of raiders. Caught in the middle, Liliana books it as fast as she can out of there, desperate to get back to her home where her brother Josu has a terrible life-threatening fever. As she's running, a man appears in front of her, covered in black and gold with gold eyes. This man introduces himself as a follower of her father. At this point, we know that he's some type of leader. He tells her that their lands are being burned to the ground in this war against the raiders, including land where something called the Essus root used to grow. This root is the only way to save her brother. Yeah, you see the problem here. The man dressed in black and gold tells Liliana that there is a way to save her brother despite the root being gone. At first, Liliana disagrees and fights back. The root is the only way. But then she realizes he's talking about darker magic that Liliana has been learning in secret, away from her master and her father. She has no idea how this man knows about her hidden studies, but she doesn't care. Knowing that she has no other recourse, she lets the magic build up inside her. She acknowledges that she has the power and skills to save her brother. All she has to do is let the forbidden magic out. Finally dive headfirst into something she's been told never to touch. She stands in the burnt glade for a moment, soaking in mana from the rot and decay of a bog close by. She begins walking towards the burnt roots, drawing in more dark mana and feeling more powerful with each step. This doesn't seem good. In the clearing of the grove, 3 witches were sitting, chanting spells to fight Liliana's father's army. With her new embraced power, Liliana challenges all 3 of the witches. With more confidence than she's ever had, she chants a powerful spell and 3 black, ethereal hands come out of the ground and pierce the chests of the 3 witches. All of them fall to the ground as the hands take their life force right out of them. The hands return to Liliana and dive into the ground where they infuse a burnt dead Essus root with the life force she just took from the witches. Liliana was positive this would be more than powerful enough to save her brother. Liliana rushes back to her house and to her brother's bedside with the newly created potion. Her mentor, Lady Anna, stops her before she can administer her potion. Anna tells Liliana that some potions can do more harm than good, and it's important that she tells her what's in the vial. Liliana, confident in her own abilities and desperate to save her brother, pushes past Anna and gives him the potion. For a moment, his shaking and incoherent ramblings stop. He quiets down and looks peaceful. For a moment, Liliana is sure she just saved her brother's life. In the next moment, he starts screaming, worse than before. His eyes open wide to reveal the white has been replaced by jet blackness. This next part is best represented word for word. Quote, "He stiffened, his blank eyes staring up at the ceiling. Liliana noticed a blackened spot on his lip where her potion had dribbled from his mouth. As she watched, he seemed to shrink. His eyes sank back into his skull and his pale skin grew waxy and tight. His cheekbones jutted from his face and his lips drew back away from his teeth." It only takes a moment for everyone to realize that this potion is killing Josu. Liliana tries to reach for his hands to comfort him, but he grabs her by the neck. Knowing that he's been damned, Josu yells at Liliana, demanding to know what she's done to him and where she's sent him. Ravenous and erratic are both words that describe her brother in his current state. Josu says that he's now in a state of eternal torment, apparently feeling constant, unbearable pain. He uses his own hands, now claws, to tear away his own flesh, but no blood pours out. This is going downhill really quickly. He lunges at her again, and a straight-up brawl takes place. Liliana and her brother are throwing spells left and right at each other. Liliana's dark magic is barely enough to keep him away. In fact, the spells she throws at him seem to make him stronger. This is when Liliana realizes the terrible mistake she's made. She thought she could counteract death with the magic of life. She thought she could combine the two and find equilibrium. Yeah, that's not true. Life and death don't counteract each other. They add on to each other. Her brother is living proof, a true combination of both life and death. As they continue fighting, Liliana grows weaker as her brother grows stronger with the strength of the void behind him. We don't know much about it right now, but we know that's where Josu is and that's where he's trying to take Liliana. Anyways, her brother becomes too powerful for her. Shadows from his hands grab Liliana and raise her up in the air. Helpless, she closes her eyes, refusing to look at what she's done, ready to accept death. In that moment, that last moment of hopelessness, darkness welled up inside her like never before, something more powerful than she had ever felt. Her brother is thrown back by this resurgence in magic energy. All of a sudden, everything becomes clear. Liliana is filled with the power to both create and destroy. She understands it all. She raises her hands, and all the servants who died on accident during the fight rose again as zombies. They subdue Liliana's brother, quickly overwhelming him with their numbers. In the next moment, she finds herself no longer in her home, but in a bog filled with dark trees, black leaves, and thick clouds of dust, on a plain we know as Innistrad. Everything else was gone. We fast forward over a century into the future. Liliana, now an old woman, steps into another world. She is old, close to death. Her brother said they would be together in death, but she refuses to let that happen, so she goes to the only being in the multiverse who has the power to help her stay alive, Nicol Bolas. They have a conversation about how the mending made planeswalkers mortal again. For the record, we will talk about the mending in the future, but all you really need to know for the bigger plot point is that planeswalkers used to basically be immortal demigods. The mending, while not directly targeting planeswalkers, had a huge effect on them and their power. Basically, they got nerfed big time, all of them, including Nicol Bolas technically. Anyways, that's all you really need to know for this story. Pre-mending planeswalkers were immortal and crazy strong. Post-mending, mortal and not as powerful. It's the more you know. Nicol Bolas tells Liliana that immortality is no longer possible, not since the mending, but Liliana is confident that he can help her considering he's lived for, 30,000 years or so. Anywho, Bolas tells Liliana that she can make a pact with 4 demons. In exchange for her soul and additional favors, she can live longer, much longer. Bolas takes her to 3 demons and she makes 3 pacts with them. She feels incredible power within her after every pact is made, but she is still old and still close to death. They travel to the world of the 4th demon. The disgusting snake-like demon she's meeting with is named Kothafed. He tells her that he'll be her most demanding master. He asks her a lot of questions about why she wants so much power and isn't another 100 years enough. He kind of rambles, not gonna lie. He also points out the irony that she's so afraid of death, but she's been using it this entire time as a weapon. The guy's actually kind of funny. Anyways, he tells her that if she wants immortality, he can give it to her, but she has to kill him first. It only took a split second for Liliana to begin casting spells. She raised zombies, threw shadow hands at the demon, just kept spamming basically. Yeah, nothing worked. The demon had no soul to take and the zombies were crushed within seconds of their reanimation. Kothafed dispatches everything that Liliana can throw at him. He rushes to her and grabs her, holding her tight in one of his giant hands. With the other, he uses a claw to cut her from head to toe. With Liliana screaming in agony, the demon rips off her skin. Yeah, it's all of it. Underneath, however, isn't raw flesh, but a younger version of Liliana, what she used to look like all those years ago. Kothafed begins cutting Liliana again, infusing her with power. Liliana assumes that her losing the battle was a test and that she had failed. Kothafed tells her that the battle was a lesson to never double-cross him because she stands no chance against him. While Liliana is listening, she doesn't care. She can feel the power inside of her growing. She knows that she is destined to kill these demons. Destined to free herself of the bond she just made. She wants everything. To live forever, to owe no one, and to be the most powerful being she can. Is it just me, or is Liliana straight up nuts? From the second this story starts, she's making all the wrong decisions all the time. I get that she wanted to save her brother, but even before he got sick, she was already using black magic. This evil was already inside her. I really like that in a woman. Anyways, what did you think of Liliana's origins? Like it? Didn't like it? Is Bolas the best / most hilarious character ever? Again, the important questions. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Magic Origins spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.